Okay, folks, here we go. I have Valentine Holick with me again today. I hope some of you had the chance to watch his earlier video a couple of weeks ago in which he talked about how he got into the Baseball Hall of Fame as a little leaguer. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the spiritual aspects today, and we're titling this Diamonds of Love. So, Valentine, please go ahead.
Wonderful. Well, aloha, and they call aloha from Molokai. I'm in Molokai in the Hawaiian Islands, originally from Maui, 27 years, but Molokai brings me back home into the nature.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you were showing me some of the landscape and stuff, and you've got a beautiful view from where you are. So that's good. But talk about Diamonds of Love.
Yeah, the Diamonds of Love, when I was in Denmark, there was a Buddhist that prayed for, he said, Valentine, the greatest gift that you have, I prayed about you for 24 hours, believe it or not. I gave it some time. He had all the paintings on his chest. He was
wow.
a master. Paintings on his chest of all the Buddhism of oneness. And he was there to help people in Denmark, and I was in Denmark and Sweden. And at the time, he said, I prayed about it, and Valentine, he said, the greatest gift that you have, that you share with every soul, wherever you go, is the diamonds of love. That is your gift to the world. And that's why I want to bring that out spiritually today in the enlightenment. And the reason for that is, it's like plant that golden seed, that Christ consciousness, the diamonds of love. That's what each one of us is. We're a diamond.
So how long did you spend with this Buddhist? I'm sure he was a monk, right?
Yes, he was.
And it was in Denmark and Sweden, you said.
Yeah, in Denmark, he came in from England. He actually came in from England to do a workshop to help people with their emotional healing. And he said, the only thing I could tell you is this is your path and this is your gift. And that's what I do, is I share with people, wherever I go, is that Christ consciousness, that golden seed, the inner man, the inner woman, the balance, the male, female,
it's interesting that you use the term emotional healing, because I was involved with a man and I was one of the co-facilitators of emotional healing workshops that I did for a number of years, actually. So I tuned in on that immediately.
You did. I'm glad you did, because that's what actually I wanted to talk about, is the emotional mind, body, and spirit. But if we don't get the emotional, that's where the illnesses start. It starts
Absolutely.
in the gut, and it starts with the brain. The gut, what you put into this temple, this gift that you've been given, I call it a temple. You want to call it, this physical body, but the mind is what we feed the brain and everything, right? What we put in there emotionally, we have to get cleared. Otherwise, we wind up with illnesses.
Exactly, and I think that's the root of many people's sicknesses. And it's not so much getting into the mind as it is getting into the heart, because that's where the diamonds of love are going to come from. They're not coming from our mind. Our mind can be easily programmed. The heart is naturally love.
Yes, that's what I was called to do. That is my life's work, is from the heart. That is the body of work that the Lord opened the door for me in the wilderness, and I'm back here. I'm so grateful. When I was in Northern California, I was so happy being in the wilderness, out of the cities of New York, upstate New York, in California. I'm so happy to be with the deer today in Molokai, wake up with the deer and brown spotted. They're so beautiful and magnificent creatures. They live on the land. They're free. We're not free. We're like caged in on the planet. We got to get free.
The cage is up here, though.
Yes, absolutely, Ron. And we'll go back to the emotion. It got so strong, I said, I want to talk about the emotional, like what you said, mind, body, spirit, because you got to take care of the 3 for the temple, and especially you got to take care of this well-being. You got to be well. You run this over and over, and that's where people become ill. They can't get free of being in that mindset cage.
Yes, some people have been so programmed that they're afraid to show emotion. More so men than women, but it actually inflicts the whole human race.
Yes, it sure does. And that's why it's so important. I'm glad you brought that up, Ron. It's affecting people. I'll tell you, I go to counselors that are 40 years actually call for their clients. I come down to the office to help the counselors of 40 years. They're ready to retire. And they say, you come in like a bright sun. I'm so happy when you come. They miss me. I'm in Molokai. They're telling me on Maui. Hey, Maria says to me, my sweetheart, she goes, Marjana, she goes, they miss you. Well, you just gone 1 week, and they feel empty. They want to call your machine and listen to your message. My message is going to Molokai. They can't even hear my message. My phone totally won't even take my answer machine. And in Molokai, I put it on. You got to put a code in. I didn't know that. But I put a message on. No one can reach me now. I'm totally in the primitive area.
Wow.
With the deer.
Please share some of the stories that you've had of sharing the diamonds of love and the effect that it's had on other people as far as the healing, the emotional and the physical and mental healing.
Yes. Well, I start to get impressions on. I go to sleep. I don't have to go to sleep. I get readouts on people. When I'm around people's vibrations, when I'm with them personally, I'll give you an example. I was with the body worker. I'll give you an example. I'm on the table. People, they didn't believe it. These are very advanced souls. She's from Colorado. Her name is Rose, and she's on Molokai and left a thriving practice in Colorado. 4,000 square foot home. Went into a 2-bedroom, her and her husband, right? And Stephen, these are people with Yogananda. They got the message to leave Colorado, and people flipped out and said, well, you have a thriving practice. Why would you leave a 4,000 square foot home to come to Molokai into a 2-bedroom? Because she got called. They've been coming for years. Now they get to retire over here, but her work, she doesn't get to retire because people are coming. She undoes blockages. Well, I got to work with her for 2 hours. I was very blessed, from what I needed to do to work through. I have to work on a daily basis in order to help others. You got to take care of your body. So physically, she went in. I start getting messages on the table about helping her and helping her husband and family members and the people around her that she knows, the women that lost their loved one on the property. I was shown visions of this before I would go in and speak to people. Wow. I'm in an area where the visions are coming, where I'm in such harmony and so blessed to be in Molokai because the airways are clouded over there where I was on Maui. It was just too many tourists, too many people, and that's wonderful because they need that break from in the world. I don't want tourism is great. People, they're wonderful. They need to get that light. You know what I'm saying? But being here in the wilderness and people can't reach you, and you hear everything. I hear the buzzing of the bees in the morning, the wasps, like hummingbirds. That's my vibrations, like a hummingbird. I come in. I see what's going on, and I come out, and I go, okay, now this is what I see. I'm on the table. After I get worked on the table, I start getting the information for the person that just worked on me about what she needs to work through in her life. These are masters. These people have been doing healing a long time.
So when you're the one that's on the table, right?
Yes, being worked on.
What is she doing? As far as what she's giving to you or sharing with you.
Yeah.
Usually the one that's on the table is the one that's receiving.
Yes.
I know. I understand that it's working both ways, but.
Yes. Well, what she was doing is she is very gifted, a heavenly angel, gifted with unveiling blockages within the physical body, mind, body, spirit. She does cranial work. She does. She eases into the body, doesn't interrupt the area that's blocked. She eases into it, and she doesn't work on me an hour, maybe an hour and a half the most. She goes, I'm getting that I need to work on you, on your legs, after an hour and a half. She goes, I'm going to work on you for 2 hours. And she closes her eyes when she's on the cranial. And I have such freedom and such release to speak to you today with such harmony and peace, because my body and mind and spirit is integrated into like, it's without words. It's just happiness. You go through, don't get me wrong, I had to get into the hot tub after that. They, on the property, have a hot tub, the warm water. I like to go to the ocean. And we had a choice of going to the ocean. And I said, let's do it on another day, because the warm water from the depthness of it really soothed out what she did. And then the pool helped me to just refresh myself from the hot tub. Well, now while I'm in the hot tub, the woman comes to me, her name is Ashley, and goes, oh, I'm looking for a body worker. And there I go, well, you're going to meet her. Rose, she's with me. She goes, well, I just got in from, I'm from Boston, and my husband's here, and he works with, this is what he does, and, here on Molokai. And I said, and she works with testing with drugs for people, for people with drugs and drug testing to see what's in their system, And I said, oh, I'd love to talk with you further. And then she talked with Rose. Rose come out of the pool, and that was the flow. And then now she's going to go see Rose. See? But before I got there, the vision I had after I got off the table was this woman that was, her husband came to me the night before, like a ball of light that was unsettling. This woman knew the people I knew that I came over from Molokai. Her name's Ginger. And said that, oh, I miss Ginger and everything. She goes, well, my husband passed away. I said, well, I saw a vision of you when you were dark. You have dark hair, because she has gray, she's an elder now. But during the time frame where she was in her 30s and 40s. So I'm showing the time frame, what they call the Akasha Records.
Right.
So to give you an idea, the Akasha Records.
The Akashic Records.
Yeah. Now, you want to call it the Hall of Records? Like, that's what it is. Like, people say, Akasha Records, what's that? Well, it's from birth. When we come in from birth till now, there's the interruption of where the illness or the blockage is what I'm shown, movie clips and film clips on the soul. And that is the gift, direct line. I'm working at night. While I'm on the earth plane, I'm working at night. I'm awake consciously, and I go through what the person's going through. For example, Stephen, I said, you were waiting for, you're like, you mastered things, but you're hiding things, who you really are with the beard, with the beard. And the wife said, I like to see him without a beard. And I'm like, well, let it go, because when he's ready, he don't want to show himself, because he sees what's going on in the world, because he's mastered things, but yet with the mustache and all on the table, I see the white mustache, and I see the turban, which is the Yogananda, the yogis have. They protect themselves with the turban, with the energy. I did it in Sweden. And they looked at me and they said to me, all the women that walked in and the men, they looked at me and said, you can stay with us. You don't need a turban. We see who you are. That was a blessing. I thought I had to wear a turban. They go, no, you don't need a turban. You got the golden light, the golden, that gold, the purity. So you're fine, And I felt so honored and blessed that we get to see each other. And I think that's what we're missing emotionally. People don't see one another. People don't really see who people are from a soul to soul. That's the eyes. I don't think people really radiate that energy of seeing one another. I think they're tripped up by seeing other things outside of the presence of who we really are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, getting back to Diamonds of Love, I want to hear more of the experiences, not that you've received, but that how you've been able to share your gifts with others. I'd like a story or two about how you've been blessed to be able to make sickness go away, or whatever. You know, I don't know what. I don't want to put words into your mouth. I want to hear those, some of the experiences you've had in helping others, because I think there might be some people that will hear that and they will be helped just by you sharing it.
Okay, wonderful. So I worked with the Parkinsons case in Maui from South Carolina, and he was a sergeant in the Marines. He had 2 weeks. The state said, if you don't come in 2 weeks to South Carolina, we're gonna take over your father's, which was my partner at the time, Kathy. We're going to take over the estate and all his money and everything if you don't fly over. So I got called in to South Carolina. I said, do you realize what's involved here? If I start this, I got to be involved with this years to come. This ain't going to just be a couple weeks or a month. I mean, the guy's going to, you know, he's not going to just live for 2 weeks. I'm going to come in to do the healing, you know, to help to get the direction through God's work is going to do the healing. It's not me. I'm that living vessel walking in the flow, right? So when I got there, the doctors looked at me, and the one that was overseeing it with the medication with them, and they said they couldn't get his circulation going in his feet for months. They couldn't get his circulation going. That's why they gave up and said, if you don't get over here, this man is going to cross over, and the whole family, everything's going to be taken. So I walked in there, flew out of Maui with Kathy, and I said, look, I walk in the room, and the doctor looks at me and sees the circulation come alive, and looked at me and goes, who are you? I said, well, I'm here to help Bill to get some humor and some comedy in his life, you know, to help him come out of this. That's what I said. And she looked at me, she says, listen, pull me to the side. I've been trying to get the circulation going for months here. And you walk in. Now, I've seen healing before. Who are you? I go, well, you know, I just know that we're here to be of help and tickle his funny bone now. And I said, well, I've never seen healing like this before. So that's the Holy Spirit, you want to call it. You want to call it the golden energy. That's went into prayer, asked for help, and his circulation started coming alive. And then what happened was, I was with a psychic surgeon, and he had his talk about blockages. His spinal column was totally shut down. And the psychic surgeon, his name was Thomas from South Carolina. He was in the Philippines, totally exhausted helping people. Him and his wife came back to South Carolina. He's originally from New Jersey, another Jersey guy.
Another
right?
Jersey guy, right?
Jersey guy. People have no idea, but the Jersey, you know, New York, you know, the East Coast. And I can relate to him. I go, Thomas, what do you think? My name's Thomas, but it's Valentine. And he goes, Valentine, you know, I prayed about it and everything. Now, we're talking a psychic surgeon that works with sutures, with blood, you know, releasing blockages. I mean, he goes in, he'll take a kitchen knife and go into your thing and release the blockage like a suture and bring out the blockage by the knife. And most people would freak out. He could take any utensil. That's a psychic surgeon.
Wow.
Now, people wouldn't understand. Yeah.
And he's able to stop the bleeding too, as far as by injecting the instrument into the flesh.
Yes. Yeah.
I've heard of all of that. I've not personally witnessed it, but I've heard stories in that line.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example along with Thomas. His name is John of God in Brazil. Everybody travels to him, especially Wayne Dyer. I was asked to work with Wayne Dyer. Wayne, I saw his illness, and he just ran. And this guy, you know, he's been in the public eye a long time, Wayne Dyer. a long time. And when he goes, oh, he tried to, oh, Valentine, how are you? Hey, I'm not here to play tiddlywinks with you, Wayne. I'm here to help you. I see right through the truth serum right now, and I'm here to help you. Don't give me this Valentine thing and do this dog and pony show with me. And and he ran. He ran with another woman from Australia, a healer. When I was up country, went to go help him with me. He ran from her. But as soon as he saw me, I was with his wife and his children at the culture center in Maui. And he got away with this with other people. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to be of service and to help humanity, to help these souls, especially someone on a stage like him. Even I don't care if you talk with Oprah, Dr. Phil, they all got things to work out.
We all do. We're human.
We all do. We do. Dr. Phil, I mean, he sees what he sees, but Oprah had to back him up because the women was like, whoa, we got a Texan here. We got a cowboy that runs right through, but he sees it. That's his gift. He always was able to do that, right? Well, same with Oprah. I think she saw things, able to do her show. I don't know why it keeps coming in with her, but she has things to work out, and she knows that. I've been seeing information on Oprah. I can help Oprah. Yeah, I don't care what people say, no matter what. I've seen things with Oprah before she even came on the island. She was looking for the properties. They would tell me when she was there in Hana, when she was looking for the property in Hana and bought all that property, 40 acres, pristine. But you have to have the right intentions, what you're buying it for. Not to build hotels and stuff and just have, do it for a purpose of helping humanity. Don't do it to make yourself even more the riches, but bless those riches with the people on the island, I say. And then when I was in Haiku, she had a vision where I was on a property of 20 acres up in Haiku. My neighbor said, I saw Oprah come to my door. I said, yeah, because Oprah's looking for the right property. So she wound up in that Silver Crown Ranch, which is her home, which I know the owners personally, and I, like I said, I've been on that property. Even her, I don't care. She's a golden angel. I don't want people to misunderstand. They told me when I was going on her show that to go on her show that you're talking to a golden angel. She's been working with herself.
You're saying Oprah is a golden angel?
Yeah, she was a golden angel at that time. At that time.
And you were actually on the Oprah show?
No, I was prepared to go on the Oprah show.
Okay.
And yeah, I was up country. I had all the connections and everything. I want to keep bringing this up because if I did it with the networks and all, I did it with, I'm going to go back to Jessy Raphael before Oprah, because everyone knows Oprah's the president of what she does. And her magazine, my brother's been in the magazine, but they call him the Super Vitamin D guy. He pioneered vitamin D for 40 years. So Oprah wanted him in the book. But Dr. Oz would talk about vitamin D when my brother is the foremost authority. And Oprah wants Dr. Oz to talk about it. So when Dr. Oz was here, Mehmet Oz, so let him know this, I had a question for him about vitamin D. And he goes and talks about something totally different just to say, let's talk about this so we can continue on to, no, hey, let's talk about vitamin D. I want to stop him in his tracks. Why won't you talk about vitamin D? You're not the foremost authority in the world on it. Why don't you have somebody that talks about it? He's aware of it. He's a surgeon. He's a heart surgeon. You see what I'm saying? Get the person that's at the authority. My brother's a keynote speaker on it. Get someone like that to speak on the show. But see, my brother did it on 2020. So that's why Oprah didn't want to put him on the show and put Dr. Oz on. This is what goes on in the networks. You know what I'm saying? It's who you know.
I'm not a big fan of the commercialized TV and movies.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of control and a lot of negative stuff there, unfortunately.
Yes. And so we'll get back to it. I want to get back to Jessy Raphael because you talk about illnesses and all. Jessy Raphael saw who I was. When I was in the audience, she spoke to me about what I was to say to help Nancy Reagan. I was a voice for Nancy Reagan about this book Kitty Kelly wrote on Nancy Reagan. So I was a voice. People got upset at me At first, they go, oh, the truth serum came in. Sally loved it and said, what this man just said, I'm agreeable with him. She said, the audience is upset. I'm getting chicken skin right now. The Holy Spirit's speaking through me. Sally Jessy Raphael is the one that opened up before any of the talk shows. You know, as a woman, spoke the truth. And I was like all dressed in white, like the white knight, white angel. And she saw who I was and came to me with the microphone. The cameramen they saw that this channeled information was coming direct from me. And everyone got quiet. When everyone got quiet, then the audience agreed with me. And then the book never sold. She made millions of dollars on George Bush, Kitty Kelly. She's Kitty Kelly, they could look her up. She was an international writer, the #1 in the world. I got to speak up against her when I wanted to join with her. Spirit wouldn't allow it. Enlightenment wouldn't allow it because she wasn't speaking her truth. Sally had to interrupt. I was just in the audience. I was supposed to be backstage with Kitty to meet with Kitty. I was in the broadcasting field. And that's why I'm bringing that out. I've been the television, movies, and the people in the movie world, you got to be authentic. I don't want to read people's lines. I'm not interested in reading people's lines. I'm interested in touching people with the soul, the diamonds of love. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the people want to hear. We want to hear something that gives us hope and builds us up inside to know that there are people out there, even like yourself, especially like yourself, that are rubbing elbows with some of the names that are household names. Yes. And there's a spiritual dimension going on in these places that most people aren't aware of. And I think it's important that we know that levels of truth are getting through, even at those levels.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes. It's interesting because people, the humanity looks at me as a ball player, even Dr. Oz, like the vision came in, like he sees me as a ball player because of the Hall of Fame nomination, but he doesn't see the healing that I came in to help humanity because he's doing healing in a totally different way. And look at that yet. He interviewed people all around the world, but like Gary Zukav, another one, Oprah brought on, he was way ahead of his time. And Linda and his wife were here on Maui. Gary was just with me. And Linda, you need to meet with him, Valentine.
I've read a couple of his books, at least 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And Oprah said, asked him to come on the show. He goes, who's Oprah? He was out in the wilderness like I am today going, I don't have a TV. I don't have a TV out here. Who's Oprah? He goes, well, you better go get a TV and find out who Oprah is because I want to interview you. That's what's going to happen here. I was already showing visions and everything, Ron, that it's like.
Oh, by the way, it's over 28 minutes, so we got a couple more minutes to wrap up.
I want to bring this out because it was told to me when I was in prayer last night how to come about this. I was shown a vision in the future that when I come up to the podium to speak, that it's like it's beyond recognition. The photographers, the reporters, they don't know where this energy is coming from. This golden light. They're kneeling down and wondering how could this guy be? It's like a lightning bolt way he's speaking. Where's this energy coming from? I'm like ignited, like a sun, like a radiating central sun, like just beaming light. Bringing happiness, that gold, that purity. And people don't know what to do with that. That authentic purity is like, how could you be so, what do you want? I'm on nature. I've found myself. I've done my work to get there in the wilderness, like Moses in the mountain with the tablets. I've been there. I know what I went through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure people are going to be inspired. I'm hoping that that the words that you've shared and the stories that you've been able to tell uplift people, and we're in the process of an awakening, and everybody has a role to play in that.
And I'm glad you said that, because what also came in prayer and what comes to mind is that these awakened souls. It's like Peter Gabriel, I was in Woodstock at the 25th anniversary. He lit a match as musically, he had everyone light a match like a sea of love, a sea of
Diamonds of
joining,
love.
Diamonds of love, right? You know, we need to join together with our diamonds around the globe, around the planet, around our communities, around our families. We need to unite together, and we will just be brighter and brighter and brighter and happy. Inner happiness, outer happiness.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to the next time we get to share again.
Wonderful.
Namaste for now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And we radiate the rainbows here from Molokai and the peacefulness from Molokai and all the nature and all the happiness ahead to everyone with the diamonds of love to your heart.
Thank you.
And aloha from Molokai.